Welcome to The Way Home with Laura Smith, the show that brings you wonderful guests, helpful advice, and uplifting stories. The Way Home. Live inspired. Here's your host, Laura Smith.
Well, you know what? It seems like it's been a long time since I've been in New York, and I would look forward to hearing all about the Tribeca Film Festival and all the wonderful film festivals that they would have there, and just be so excited about the releases and seeing those that were in the festivals, because they were always the best movies in my estimation, and something very beautiful that really changed the whole culture of the film industry. And I have somebody with me today that has just starred alongside other stars in a beautiful movie that is, once again, what is it about boxing movies about boxers, that no matter whether you're a fighting a person aficionado or somebody who even likes or enjoys boxing, these movies always tend to rise to the top because they're the beautiful meaning underneath them and the stories they tell are great. Andrew Leiner is here. Just released 2 days ago is a movie called Bang Bang, and he has a great role in this. And it's been in a lot of film festivals, winning awards. Thank you so much, Andrew, and congratulations on the release of this film. I know it's no easy feat to get a cast in a film and then have it be released and then have it win awards already. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a crazy journey with this one, and it's a beautiful experience, and I'm so thankful for it, especially in this time in our industry to even have work going on. For me, it's a true blessing.
You know, it just feels like to me, like we need films right now, films that bring emotion and artistry. You know, it's all the big flashy things. I don't go to them anymore. But this is what I crave, is seeing stories like this. Tell us about the story of Bang Bang and everything behind it, and the role that you play is so central to the whole story.
Thank you. Yeah, Bang Bang is a story about a title fighter that is retired and now a grandfather, and kind of his life after fighting. And I come into the picture and in need of a male role model in my life, and he steps up to the plate, and it's this father-son relationship, but also a coach-athlete relationship as well, which can be muddy at times. But, at the end of the day, I think Justin needed Bang just like Bang needed Justin. And I think that's the beautiful thing about these types of movies, which is just like you were saying, these sports movies and boxing movies in particular, they for some reason, they just touch our souls. And I think it's the combination of a lot of people say art imitates life, but I think sports imitate life as well. And I think that with this in particular, it's this fight to live, and it's this fight for a pursuit of goodness, even though it might not be there at times. And I think that we have to continue to fight to do that.
And it's not always pretty. The clips that I've seen is that it has a grittiness to it, like a lot of these films do. It's so realistic. The exact time frame that this takes place in, what decade?
Now, modern time. It's modern time Detroit, and it's got a gritty feel because they live a gritty life, and there's a lot of people out there that are living a gritty life as well. And I think that, no one's struggle is greater than the other, where we all suffer and we all feel. And I think that we just wanted to shed a light to, for Justin's character, my character, Justin, his dad's in prison. His mom is scraping by and has to go to Chicago to work. And he has to start living with his grandfather. And this is a guy he's never really met. And these are situations that a lot of people are put in, in our country. And I think that, we shed light to that. And I don't know, we didn't really sugarcoat it. We tried to tell it as truthfully as we could. Um, but yeah, it's modern time. It's now.
Hmm. And Tim Blake Nelson is your grandfather. He's Bang in the movie,
Yeah.
and um, you know, he obviously was a big star at one time in his life, and here he is now, and he's in a wheelchair, and he's just
All right.
looks to be quite a crusty character, and yet, so if you're thinking, how is this guy going to be a mentor at this point with the way he is to this young boy? But it's a beautiful thing that ends up unfolding between you. Tim Blake Nelson,
Right.
he was in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I saw that,
Yeah.
which is one of my favorite films of all time. Such an incredible character.
Yeah. Tim killed it. I think that the preparation and the time that Tim put into his character was one of the first times that I've got to see an actor truly give himself up to it. And he was inspiring, and it was a clash of character and a clash of human. And yeah, I think Tim plays this guy, and I mean for example, every night we'd finish up, or every day, depending if we had a night shoot, he was on the treadmill running miles and miles and miles. And to achieve what he did physically and mentally and spiritually, you have to give yourself to it, surrender yourself to it physically, mentally, and spiritually as well. So watching Tim do that was affirming to me when I was trying to do the same thing. So yeah, working with people like that, it's rare, and it's a blessing, and it's inspiring, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Right. Just on the logistical side of, like, for people who are listening and maybe they have someone in their family that wants to become an actor, or they themselves were. I mean, I started as an actor before I got into radio. That was many decades ago. It is not easy. It is the business of it is not easy. That's for sure. How long have you been acting?
I was acting professionally since I was like 18, I guess. I'm 24 now. But yeah, I admit it. I grew up at a middle school that pushed you to do performing arts, and in high school, I decided to continue that journey, and I kind of caught the bug for it in high school, and I knew I needed to do this. Yeah, my acting journey, I guess, was not necessarily that of the artist, but that of the athlete. I wanted to be a professional tennis player for a long time, or just honestly any professional type of athlete. And that was kind of the road that I was on. And acting and choir and all these things became something important to me in high school, just as important as tennis was. And I had to toss my D1 tennis dreams aside and follow that passion. So, with that said, I think that I started at 18, I guess you could say. But I really came from an athlete's background, so that's why Bang Bang feels very at home for me.
Uh-huh. I was going to say, did they know that about you when you auditioned, that you had this background as an athlete?
I think it's funny. I think they could kind of infer. I did my first audition for Bang Bang in like a tank top, and the character Justin was originally like a gangly alien-looking kid, and it just I just I guess I didn't read that, but because I was like, boxer, he's a boxer, okay, let's go, because I boxed a lot growing up as a kid too, so that's what I saw. But Vince was like, yeah, your hair's too long. We're going to get rid of that. You're too pretty. Mess you up. And then they ended up going in the direction of a bigger brawler, bruiser type of guy for Justin. But yeah, I think Vince could tell after the first audition that there was no fake in it.
Absolutely. But things have a way of art imitating life, as they would say. And sometimes those things happen. So you are actually being distributed by Sunrise Films. Are they a newer film distribution?
Yeah, they're a newer film distribution. They have one, maybe more now, but when we were with them, only one other film, but it ended up doing pretty well. So we're just excited to have some distribution. We shot this in I want to say 2022 or 2023. 2022, I think, pretty sure. So we shot it a while ago, and we did the festival circuit, not this past Tribeca, but the following, and then we not this Locarno, but the following. So it's been a long time coming, and with these indie movies, it's a blessing if you get any type of distribution. We made this movie for not under $1 million, and it was gritty. It was gritty filming it too. So we're just, I mean, speaking for myself, I'm just happy people get to see it now. I've been talking about it for so long. My family and my friends are like, dude, I don't care. So I just want to see it. So it's at the point now for me where I'm just like very blessed and very excited that this is happening. And it means a lot to me that, we got distribution in general.
Yeah, it's no easy feat. And I'm very happy for you that you've been able to hang in there that long, because that's how long it takes from the time you start, creating the film and doing the acting work and then doing the editing process and then everything else and then getting the distribution. It takes such a long time. And people who go see films don't realize sometimes how much went into it and how long. But I love the lower budget films that are just so filled with so much heart and soul and spirit that it doesn't matter. It just, because the story transcends, the flash and everything else. How was it received at the Tribeca Film Festival, for example?
It was awesome being in an American crowd and in New York. It was so fun, and everyone was loving it. They were laughing, they were crying. It was a beautiful experience. And then the complete opposite. Well, not the complete opposite, but it was very different in Locarno in Switzerland, and the audience was calm the whole time. No laughing, no this, no that. And then at the end, we got a standing ovation, and you could feel that it touched people. Whereas, in America and New York, and I'm sure in LA as well, it's like well, if we do anything, we go to the movies, we watch movies, and we experience that with a bunch of people, and it's an experience. So yeah, it's been well received, and it's been I think people really are seeing, Tim's the real deal. He is a professional of all professionals, and he is a character actor that with this one in particular, just I know he blows people's socks off with this. So just an honor to be with him.
Who knows? It could end up becoming, our modern day Rocky.
I would love that. That would be awesome.
I mean, think about that, the origins of that story and how he didn't want anybody else to play it. No one would let him make the film, Sylvester Stallone, because he insisted that he be the main character.
Totally.
And I just love those stories. But you see, that's what I love about these types of films. And I think it's going to do very, very well.
This one had a similar story. This one had it was written 7 years before we made it. So it was similar to Sly, where it was this, I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it. And just so happened to find the indie route and make it.
So rumor has it, Andrew Liner, that your next film that you're going to be in is going to be directed by royalty in the film business. Do tell us about that. It's a name everyone will be familiar with.
Yeah, Destry Spielberg. It's her directorial debut, and it's called Please Don't Feed the Children. It's about a dystopian society that is going through some form of a pandemic where kids are not affected, and we are a bunch of kids that are trying to get out and get to the promised land. And, they throw kids in concentration camps, and it's eerily similar to the Holocaust. And it's a cool wacky, scary adventure. But yeah, it was great, and the cast was wonderful. Death Street did a phenomenal job casting film, and it was a beautiful experience. It was a beautiful experience. It was interesting, and it was hard, and it was it was full. And that's all you can hope for. And like I was saying before, I think just getting any type of work nowadays is a blessing.
Yeah.
So
And
not
I'm
only that with
assuming,
work, but with Spielberg, that's awesome.
yeah, exactly. I'm assuming she's the child of, is it Steven Spielberg and Kate Capshaw?
Yeah.
Is she the daughter? Okay. So interesting how sometimes it's just in the blood there. But I am so happy for you and your big release that happened just Friday, the 12th of September.
Yeah.
And I hope it has a long run, and I hope all the right people get to see it, and people whose lives will be changed by the beauty of it. And Andrew Liner, I mean, it sounds like you also are at the kind of the beginning of your major trajectory in the business. And I'm very happy for you. Where are you from originally?
From LA, born and raised.
Okay, gotcha.
Born and raised in LA. Rare breed, I know. But yeah, born and raised in LA.
Well, we're just 3 hours from Detroit here in northern Indiana. In fact, it's called Michiana where I live because it's right on the border of Michigan. So, and it's an incredible city. But I thank you. Congratulations. The movie is called Bang, 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 Bang. Okay. I like the shrimp, but has nothing to do with it. It's all about boxing and about a relationship that's beautiful in many ways that blossoms throughout the film with the grandfather and his grandson, with Andrew Liner playing the grandson, Justin. All right. Well, you're going to have to come back with your next film because we want to follow your career. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty amazing.
Thank you so much. Your words really mean a lot to me. Thank you.
And I hope that people can find the film and get to it when it's released in various places throughout the country. If you Google it, you can find if it's at a theater near you, and then eventually be able to get it on, some platform where they have fine movies and such. Thank you so much. And God bless. All the best to you. And long live Bang Bang. Thank you.
Likewise. Long live Bang Bang. Thank you so much, Laura. Have a good one.
Thank you.
You're listening to The Way Home with Laura Smith. Once again, here's Laura.
One of probably the topics that's nearest and dearest to my heart is animal protection, animal rights, kids' rights too. Those are my things. But I especially love it when we can talk to good people who are doing good things for animals, and really the advancements that are available in terms of taking care of animals, no matter what type of situation they are in. And often at the forefront of all of that is PETA. I have Lisa Lange here today. She's the Senior Vice President of PETA, and a very particular topic regarding animals and care for animals, especially when in entertainment situations or on sets for movies, videos, etc. Thank you, Lisa, for coming on today.
Yes, thanks so much for having me.
So this is, I've often thought about this, but I think I was probably in my early 20s when I started to hear that the animals that you see in those movies and everything that are there often have very horrible lives and conditions before you see them on the set, or rigorous training to the point of abuse. And I've often wondered, there's got to be a better way. And obviously now with the advancement of technology and such, there is. Tell us where we are in terms of animals being in the entertainment industry, what they go through, and what PETA is suggesting.
Well, we're in a much better position than we were several decades ago. I'll tell you that much, even than a decade ago. And as you mentioned quite rightly, the advancement of CGI has been a big part of that. There's no need to use a live animal in a production anymore. We've done several investigations at the biggest training compounds that supply animals to movies and television. And, trainers are in the business to make money. And so corners are cut. And what we have found in every situation that we've explored is animals living in squalor. There are birds living in feces-encrusted cages, dogs living in cages stacked on top of one another. And that's their life. Other dogs left in kennels outdoors all night long. cats who are trained through starvation to get them to act on cue. As crew members and as actors and others involved, human beings are there by their own choice. They're paid to be there. They know what they're doing. They know why they're there. They've read the script. They have the schedule. Animals have no idea why they're in frightening circumstances with loud noises, bright lights, and they're never going to understand that. Certainly some animals do better than others, but the best way forward is to eliminate animals from scripts. But we are seeing that more and more because of the use of CGI, and also a lovely trend of people who, if a script calls for a dog, actors are bringing in their own animals, like Bradley Cooper did with A Star is Born. He directed that film and he starred in it, and it was his dog in it. So the dog got to come, spend time with his dad all day long, and then go home and sleep at the bottom of his bed at night. And that is the only way it should be done.
Yes, indeed. In fact, I actually have a very recent story that I know firsthand because I am in the Midwest, and a woman who runs a rescue place here where I live. One of her dogs was actually taken to Broadway to appear in Gypsy, on the set of Gypsy with Audra McDonald. Well, Audra McDonald ended up adopting this little pooch.
Oh.
And that is one of those great stories that's one way in which they're doing things ethically now. But for the ones who are there really like major film companies that are still using these archaic, inhumane ways with animals, or are you seeing less and less of it?
Well, we are seeing less and less of it, but there are still some bad actors. I mean, there's so much content now, and staying on top of it is a challenge that we're doing it. I mean, one of the worst examples recently that was so appalling to me was Danny McBride in the thankfully final season of the Righteous Gemstones. He had a monkey, and he made the monkey smoked. I mean, that's like something we didn't see since the 1930s and 40s, and that's so out of touch, especially for someone so talented as him. And to throw that in there, it's just so crass and abusive. And like I said, it was the last season, thankfully. But also, bad monkey on Apple. They used a monkey through that entire series. And the season 2 is coming out, and we're hoping that the monkey doesn't come back. But we know better than that. This is a wild animal. They are never going to understand the situation they're in. They're always going to be caged 100% of the time and denied the things that are most important to them, including family, including freedom and space. They don't get to do anything that resembles the life that they should have. So wild animals have it especially bad. Horses have it bad. They're incredibly skittish animals. They're probably the animal that's used the most in Hollywood. That they don't respond well to loud noises, to bright lights, to quick movements that you happen to see on set. And most people don't understand horses. So it's not even a vet you want on set. You want a horse behaviorist, because we've seen animals. An animal died, for example, on HBO's The Gilded Age. We heard about that from a whistleblower, which is where we get most of our best information. So we're headed in the right direction. We're not there yet, but PETA's Animals in Film and Television division is here to help. And we work with a lot of people and advise on scripts and all the rest of it.
That's exciting to know. And I was wondering also, is PETA only within the confines of the United States, or are you able to work across countries as well internationally? I would imagine that some countries, I mean, we all know, how certain countries treat dogs terribly, and, just dogs, but let alone the other larger animals. Are you guys working internationally at all?
Oh, sure. Yeah. And we have entities too that work on it. But yeah, we got a whistleblower call from someone who was on set on a Chinese movie called Crazy Alien, where they hoisted a poor German Shepherd up in a cage at night above a rushing river and dropped him into it. And someone on set took video of it, and we were able to stop it from coming into the United States after that. So we will essentially work with anyone, and sometimes it's our entities who will take the lead on it. But yes, the problem it will be often for us is if it's a supplier from another country that we can't get information on. It's easier for us to get information on suppliers here, but it's not impossible.
Okay, that's good to know. So if somebody listening today is hearing this and is possibly involved with the film industry in some way, and they would like to get in touch with you and get best practices and also maybe be a whistleblower themselves, how do people get directly in touch with you?
The easiest way is to go through our website at PETA.org. If you're a whistleblower, you go to PETA.org/report, and you can fill out an anonymous form there. We always take as much information as possible, meaning please tell us the date, the time, the people who were involved, any footage or photographs that you have. All of that is going to make our lives easier. We will respond quickly. You can also call our main line at 757-622-7382, and they'll connect you. We will take any and all information, and we also will answer questions. I mean, we deal with showrunners and directors all the time, and we reach out and say, we're a free resource. What do you have in mind? What do you want to film? And we can direct people. And we've really been successful in stopping things from happening just by finding out from them in advance.
Absolutely. Oh, thank you so much. And I'm so grateful for all the work that PETA does. Again, the website is PETA.org, and that is spelled PETA. Lisa Lange, thank you so much for joining us with this highly informative segment. Thank you. And I know it's going to go a long way into changing the world. Thanks a lot for animals.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for listening to The Way Home this week and to my wonderful guests. And may you all have a wonderful week that is safe, that's happy, healthy, and full of lots of miracles as well. I'm Laura Smith. See you next time from The Way Home.
Podcasts by Federated Media.